Is Gary Gensler resigning or is he not? Plus, I'm going to get into a little more in depth of what's happening with Twitter. You're going to want to hear this. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Check us down below if you want to see what coins we've been getting into that have been skyrocketing lately. Link is down below in the video description. Let's start out with Gary Gensler. So I found this yesterday, which I didn't want to talk about right away because I figured, okay, this could be fake news and I'm not about to jump on the fake news bandwagon like all the other YouTubers. SEC sources confirm Gary Gensler resignation. And then a couple hours later, in the middle of the night, probably for you guys, breaking, as expected, SEC Governor PR says Gary Gensler is not resigning. If Gary Gensler is going to get fired or if he resigns, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think a better person's going to get into the SEC? Keep in mind what I've been saying over the past month or so, a couple months. Gary Gensler essentially has a gun to his head by Wall Street. He's a puppet. He gets told what to say. Look no further than what happened with FTX. So keep in mind, Sam Bankman-Fried bought out a bunch of politicians. In fact, it was 1/3 of all Congress people. That's crazy, but this is how things work, okay? They're bought and paid for puppets for Wall Street. So if Gary Gensler did resign, you know, he was a scapegoat. He pretty much forced a lot of these larger crypto exchanges kind of out of the United States. Now they're looking for elsewhere. And now he's given the red carpet to Wall Street, essentially, you know, BlackRock, Fidelity, all those guys. So that is what's going to happen. You're going to have a new guy. If he ever gets let go, you're going to have a new guy just as bad that's owned by Wall Street. That's just what you have to accept. All right, you have no say in this. These guys aren't elected. They are selected by Wall Street. Next, speaking about the SEC. Okay, so Forbes says the SEC's feedback on Bitcoin spot ETFs is a speed bump, not a stop sign. So as I said before, the SEC came out and announced that it would want to find out who was going to be Fidelity and BlackRock's custodian, essentially, which exchange they're going to be using, right? That's all they needed to do. But a lot of people in this space were like, oh my gosh, it's horrible for this space. And the price literally collapsed over $1,000 within a couple minutes. So that's just kind of ridiculous. So just look what they're saying before just going crazy, okay? Now let's move on to Twitter. All right, so Twitter yesterday, Elon Musk said verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 tweets or posts per day. Unverified counts 600 posts a day, and new unverified posts 300 a day. Then, a couple hours later, he's like, okay, now it's 10,000 for verified accounts, 1,000 for unverified accounts, and brand new accounts 500 tweets per day. This is what Elon says. To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits, as I shared. Now, data scraping, where have we seen this before? Nicola Duke on Twitter says this. Pretty sure Microsoft data scraping is behind the Twitter temporary limits. Now, keep in mind that OpenAI was sued over data scraping, all right? And this was because of the use of personal information. So we kind of understand where this is coming from and why. And here's an even crazier connection. Odell on Twitter says, the goal must to make Twitter unusable unless you verify your identity. And keep in mind, some of the largest investors in Twitter are BlackRock, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Citadel. And keep in mind that these corporations, a lot of these corporations are actually creating one of the largest crypto exchanges that are in the United States that are going to be implemented probably pretty soon, especially that half of these people are wanting to create a Bitcoin spot ETF. And why is that? Because they're going to gather everyone's information, as we've been talking about for the last several weeks. They're going to gather everybody's information and they're going to make sure KYC is to the max. It's going to be interesting to see if you're going to be able to send your Bitcoin wherever you want. And we predict that you won't be able to do that. And it's much like how Bitcoin works on Robinhood and PayPal currently. You don't actually own your Bitcoin. They own it. Also, they don't allow you to withdraw it to an independent wallet. Yes, this is where this is heading in the US. Now, here's some very bullish information here. 1 month ago, the federal debt was capped at $31.4 trillion. Then the cap was lifted. We're already nearing $1 trillion in new debt issued in 30 days. What did I say at the beginning of the year? I said that there would be more currency printing this year than there has ever been in the history of the United States. And I'm right on track, aren't I? Yes. Lastly, very bullish news. Today's Bitcoin's 20-week moving average just crossed above its 200-week moving average for the first time ever. And I'm incredibly bullish. If you are part of our CT club, you know how bullish we are. We've been very bullish, even around 16,000 when people were saying we're going to go down and crash to 10,000. I'm like, no, we have bottomed back in November. We called it correctly. Anyways, that's all I have. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.